Hello and welcome to the Good, the Bad, and the Spoilers. We are reviewing Rogue One today, and here is our cast members.
God.
Blaid!
Alex.
Alex was trying to hold back some kind of laugh there, which means that he had some kind of weird thought.
No, Roger's foot invaded my hand space again.
He keeps playing with my toes!
Stop putting your toes in his hand.
Thanks.
It's in my space!
Thanks to
There's
superpowers.
a hard line right here.
Thanks to superpowers
So-
gained from a radioactive chili cheese dog from the 7-Eleven. Aaron has gained the power to cut my original intro for cussing in it.
No, that's a good thing. That was a
yes.
good thing. Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, let's get back to Rogue One, can we please?
So, Star Wars Rogue One released
Yes,
last
it did.
Yes,
night.
it
Finally.
did.
Well,
Slash
and
It's a
today.
good thing they said the title in the movie, otherwise they wouldn't have known what I had paid to see.
Please, do go on.
No, don't go on. We're not at the bad yet. We haven't even started yet.
Have we not?
No, not really.
On.
I mean, we've kind of started, but...
We've
We have
started.
kind of started.
We did the intros.
Well, I mean, this is our first 5 minutes is always kind of for bullshit.
Or we could
anyway,
just skip
so.
the bull. We just cussed.
Okay.
I mean, bleep, 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 bleep. So, no. Let's just get this started. What did we? Oh no, we do start with the bad. What did we not like about the movie?
What did we not like about the movie?
It was really, really freaking slow at the start.
Yeah, it was a real slow
Like,
start.
it took an hour to introduce the main character, and we kept cutting away to characters where it wasn't quite understood why they were relevant yet.
Yeah.
Like what? What do you mean? Give me an example.
Okay, so we start off with how she ended up getting orphaned.
Okay. Yeah.
Then we see her being taken away. Then we just see her waking up in prison.
Okay.
And then we cut to, like, 3 other subplots,
Yeah.
which were important.
I don't actually remember what subplot. I remember after we see her in prison, we go to the weird guy I couldn't understand half the time.
Saul?
Forrest Whitaker.
No, not Forrest Whitaker, which I actually loved, by the way. But no, the he sounded like he spoke like he was like Mexican or like Spanish or something.
think
He
he
was
was
like one of the main
Spanish.
characters. You know.
The pilot?
Dude.
Yeah, well, no,
No,
not the pilot, but the
captain.
rebel, the captain. It was like
I don't remember his name.
Caesarian or something like that. I'm really bad with names.
The French guy?
He was not French.
I have no idea if he was French or not.
No, it was a very Spanish accent.
Anyway, I remember going to him. I remember going to. I think we went and saw General Tarkin at that point.
Which
Admiral Tarkin.
Yeah, thank you, Admiral Tarkin. But we're gonna come back to Tarkin later because reasons. But I don't remember any other subplots.
Well, it just felt weird because it felt like those actually took a while. It took us a while to actually get back to her and what her deal was.
I would argue that maybe it was because Jin wasn't the only main character.
Which, again, that's a problem there.
Well, I don't
Well, I
know.
mean-
I don't know because
I
the,
mean, she-
the whole story, the whole movie is about the team
Right.
that got the Death Star plans.
I mean, no, the deal is it didn't, like, completely lose focus, but...
I mean, yes, Jin was a huge part of it, but I wouldn't.
Right. Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
know.
say she's the main focus, which kind of makes the subplots make sense.
Right.
You know.
yeah,
no, I'm
I
just
could
saying,
definitely
it just,
agree
like,
with that.
the way it went is, like, that first thing, it was, like, half hour just felt really slow. It felt like it took an hour to get to the actual movie.
It definitely did feel like it took a little bit to get up to 60. It was once it did finally get like probably about halfway, 2/3 in, it did definitely ramp up, but it did take a little bit to get up to speed.
Once they actually got to Jeddah, it felt like, okay, it felt like it had started once they actually got to Jeddah, but...
Well, here were some of the things that I had an issue with. The very first thing probably being some of the canonical.
Things like these ships not exactly matching up to the ones from the original trilogy, like the Imperial shuttles looking way different. And
yeah, the Imperial shuttles looked weird. It should be said that a lot of things I had an issue with were small things. You know, like the a lot of the ships didn't really match up to what was in the original series. What in the hell were R2-D2 and C-3PO doing on Yavin when they're supposed to be with Leia?
Well,
yeah.
Okay. What I came to the conclusion on that is the hold on. What I'm thinking of the squadrons. Squadrons were leaving for Yavin. The fleet was beginning to leave for Yavin. And the first thing that would go would be the fighters. So they see that happening. And I'm imagining that was just before C-3PO and R2 would have gotten on the ship with Leia.
Which I can accept if they had been in the room with Leia at the end.
Right.
If that had happened, then I could have made a connection. They eventually got on the ship.
That's kind of another issue with the movie overall, is like you assume we already know things, which you kind of is fair, but
I think it's very fair that, because
you assume. Because we know they're on the ship with her at the end.
Right.
Because we've seen A New Hope. However, assuming having assumptions with your audience can be a little dangerous.
Yes, however, in those situations, it is a reboot rather than a sequel.
Right. However, the deal is, I feel like that cameo was completely unnecessary, and it just felt like a really, really weird 10-second intrusion to the rest of the movie.
With Leia?
No, with C-3PO.
Oh, yeah, it was...
Yeah, I can agree.
It did seem forced. Like they were just trying to get...
It felt really shoehorned in there.
I really feel like if they wanted to get a cameo with C-3PO and R2-D2, it should have been at the end with Leia.
Yeah, exactly. They should just be in that room in the background, not saying anything necessarily. But I think I got an answer earlier today as to why certain things might have looked different.
What's that?
And it is apparently some of these ships are no longer that we saw in the original trilogy are no longer canon.
Really?
Wait,
yes.
What?
Apparently, certain ships may no longer be canon.
Why is that?
Certain spacecraft. I am not sure yet.
Huh, we'll have to investigate further.
Apparently, when they're going through the decisions on what will and will not be canon, certain things were no longer canon, or certain things were changed a little bit.
Okay, but... And we're going to go into a little bit of the extended universe that absolutely is canon.
Yeah.
Star Wars Battlefront, the game, is set during the original trilogy, and that has all of the original ships, weapons, everything. That is 100%
However,
canon.
A huge part of it is, you gotta remember, Battlefront, that stuff is still canon, I believe. However, you gotta remember, when the second they decided to do Force Awakens, they said anything extended universe that we do not show in the upcoming stuff is no longer canon until we show it.
Except for a few things.
Right.
Which was Star Wars Battlefront, the new one that was released last year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The series that's releasing on Cartoon Network.
Right.
That's all canon.
Right.
And that's why I'm talking about Battlefront specifically, is because it shows everything from the original trilogy.
Right.
That we should have gotten. All of the stuff that's coming out, on Cartoon Network and all that stuff, that's all
That's
pre A New Hope.
Canon. Yeah.
But it's pre A New Hope, so it's the Clone Wars, and it's that section between the Clone Wars and A New Hope, and all that stuff. But that's a really long tangent for another day. What did you not like, God?
I didn't have anything I didn't like about it.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
I was quite pleased.
Really? You of all people.
Me of all people.
Really? I'm dumbfounded.
I know.
I'm trying to...
I thought the story was...
Not even small things? Because all the issues I have are just small things.
Well, teeny tiny. I didn't like any of the CG stuff on the faces because they looked like it to me.
They did.
Well, I'll say Tarkin definitely had a lot of moments where he looked CG. Absolutely.
Oh, and I thought Leia looked CG.
I was going to say...
However, they did a really good job.
Honestly, I was slightly fooled with Leia, To be very honest.
Yeah.
I had to do a double take. I felt like the shot was quick enough that you kind of had to go and then get over the shock before noticing that it's CG.
I felt that the CG on Tarkin was actually better than Leia. Specifically, I think because of the lighting.
Well, yeah, because the deal is Tarkin, they kept him in the dark for most of his shots, which...
At least in dimmer
And the deal is
lighting.
he also had a lot more screen time, and that's a smart decision to do when you have that thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, the Disney, like, recreating a person when they were younger CG is definitely, like... You can
it's
tell
getting really
it's
good.
getting better, but the deal is once you actually stare at it, you can tell.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, there's always going to be something going on there that isn't quite right.
It was always the movement of the lips that got it for me.
That does it. There are moments with those shots where they look very good, and then there's moments where they slip, and that's what tells you.
Honestly, for me, it was actually similar. Where I noticed that it was messing up was when he was talking specifically. And it was always because when somebody's talking, there's always these little movements
in the face.
In the face that are so difficult to capture. And when you're trying to replicate that in CG, you either lose them, you over-accentuate them, or... they're just not noticeable enough, or
Yeah.
But specifically because they were trying to do so much with it, I felt like it was a little too fluid. Like it didn't quite match everything else.
I have an issue where I don't know if other people have this, but anytime I see something CG, it's kind of easy for me to tell because it looks a little plastic-like to me.
I can agree with that. There were a couple... specifically with Leia, I got that very plastic feel. Subtle, but still I got it.
I don't think Leia was a 100% CG character like Tarkin was. Honestly.
Wait, is the original actor dead?
I don't know if he's... I don't think he's dead, but he's definitely not... looking like that.
No. But if he's still alive, I wouldn't be surprised if they at least got him for some kind of tracking.
They may have got him for tracking, but the final product of the movie was 100% CG for Tarkin.
That might explain why...
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, Grand Moff Tarkin.
Grand Moff Tarkin, yes.
There were several points I noticed where he would move his head in a way where he would do this kind of thing where he would... The side of his neck would...
There was an actor there to portray him in Rogue One. I just checked. I wanted to go check how the actor's doing. Oh, he died in 1994.
Oh,
really?
I thought he was dead.
It would make sense that they'd have
Peter Cushing died in
something
1994.
on set for the other actors to react to.
Yeah.
But the final product was definitely CG.
Huh.
Definitely.
That's because he's dead.
You know what I mean.
Whoever they got for the voice was really good, though.
Wonderful. But what I was going to say was with Leia specifically, I don't think she was a full CG replicant like Tarkin.
No, I don't.
What I think
agree.
they did is I think they had a body double who had a similar build to Carrie Fisher back in the 70s, and then they just replaced the face. Because that would have been a lot simpler than to do a whole body for 10 seconds.
Tarkin was not completely CG either.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am positive. Because he was actually portrayed by Guy Henry in there.
Are you sure Guy Henry wasn't the voice?
Let me check.
Because I was watching the credits when Tarkin rolled by, and there was only one actor portraying Tarkin, and if they're going to choose one, it's going to be the voice. Right.
I'm thinking I don't know.
Unless he did both.
He might have done both.
He may have done both.
I'm actually looking at the actor now. It was Guy Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he does not look too off.
Okay, I could see if they were trying to use him to portray.
Absolutely.
At least to get a reference.
Right. But, and also that's the other deal. You would actually have some physically present to be a reference.
Well, I said that before.
Right. But, there's other things like, this this is actually my issue with Force Awakens. I don't feel like either of the stories have grabbed me quite the same way like the story for A New Hope or Empire or Return of the Jedi did.
Did Empire really grab anyone?
No. No. It's like...
Yeah, a few people thought Empire was a good movie.
A lot of people thought it was the best.
Yeah.
Which has always seemed odd to me. But anyway.
I mean, really, the only reason to watch Empire is to watch the end.
I don't know. It had a lot of darker
It had a lot of stuff going on in it, but the really important parts were all at the end.
Yeah.
You could pretty much breeze over that movie if you were going through a summary. Oh, by the way, Vader's Luke's dad. You're done. Yeah.
That was kind of a huge thing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's the biggest.
We could go on a tangent with that.
Speaking of Vader, why are his lenses suddenly red?
They don't look red to me.
They were red.
Weren't they slightly red tinted in the original too?
No.
I have no idea. I didn't notice anything.
They were slightly red in this movie.
I didn't notice.
For some reason in my head that sounds normal. Like I can remember seeing them at least in something being slightly reddish.
Oh, another thing I did not like about this movie, also another issue I had with Force Awakens, the language sounds too casual.
How do you mean?
In the actual Star Wars movies, like the original ones, and those fan films that George Lucas made around the early 2000s, the language wasn't quite more formal, but it sounded more like an older English dialect.
Honestly, I like the more casual speaking.
Agreed. In the originals, it was super cheesy.
And it comes off as cheesy. And yeah. I put that up to George Lucas just does not know how to write dialogue.
He doesn't.
And he doesn't know how to write characters either.
No, he doesn't. But honestly, to me, it felt like it fit in with this type of... with the type of republics and stuff they have going on.
Fit in pretty well with...
I would agree with the prequels. Absolutely, because they had the Senate, they had the Jedi, they had all of these different political powers.
Right.
That were... for
and a
each
several
other.
year difference.
Yeah, but
only 20.
After the Empire takes over, I don't know. I mean,
you guys also remember, there's only this is the thing people tend to forget. There's only 20 years between the end of Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
There's like 30 years.
There's 20.
I don't know. Wait,
how old is Luke?
I think Alex is right.
No. Yeah, I remember. I don't know. But still.
Well, think of how much
think about how much language has changed between now and the 70s.
Right.
Or the 80s.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot.
Or the 90s.
Actually,
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, language changes fast.
Yeah.
It really does. Think about how drastic the changes from now in the 30s.
But if you want to get piggy about this movie, because it actually... One of the reasons I was able to write off some of this stuff looking so different from how it did in New Hope is because I was thinking, okay, maybe they stole the plans like 5 years before New Hope happened. And then this is literally the beginning of A New Hope, this movie.
Yes.
But if you also think Han Solo talks a lot like all these characters do.
A bit more like it.
Han Solo is extremely casual.
Han Solo was not the posh.
Where Leia may have talked like the older, the older character.
Which makes sense for her.
Which makes sense because she's a princess.
Right.
Han Solo was very rash.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Especially compared to Leia. I mean...
Nice shot, kid. Don't get cocky.
Okay.
And when you've got a bunch of ragtag rebels...
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense. And then Force Awakens is even longer after everything happens.
Yeah.
That absolutely makes sense to me.
Yeah, no. And again, like we were just saying before, personally, I prefer the more casual dialogue over the... I keep wanting to say posh.
It is a slightly more formal dialogue.
Yeah. And specifically just because especially in the prequels, but really a lot in the original trilogy as well, it just came off so So very corny.
It was hokey.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
hokey. Not quite as bad as like the first Resident Evil, but still pretty hokey.
I'm not sure how I feel about Darth Vader's dad joke.
Okay, we're not even going to talk about that because that just makes me angry.
What?
However,
It was good,
however,
but I don't know how I feel about it.
Hold on. I'm not remembering.
So, okay, Darth Vader was talking with director. I cannot remember.
whatever. The white Tarkin.
Right.
The guy directing the Death Star program.
Yeah. So he's talking to him, right? And the guy's like trying to do all this stuff, and Darth Vader looks at him and he starts, or doesn't look at him, but he starts choking him, right? Doing the whole force choke thing. Mm-hmm. And then he turns around and he's like, "Don't choke on your aspirations."
Oh, a literal dad joke, not a joke about him being somebody's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just annoyed the hell out of me.
You know, I think that is an example of where I think the language needs to go back to the more formal thing, because Vader has always spoken that way.
But it still annoyed me.
I was just going to say it actually matches with the way he would talk in the originals.
Honestly, I don't think it did, because the deal with Vader is he always sounded like an old knight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of Vader, and this will be a good segue into the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, that last scene.
When he murdered all those rebels, I'm sorry.
That was terrifying.
Fantastic.
Like, don't look at me like that.
At the same time.
That one needed an expletive.
At the same time.
It was great.
They didn't make him do with the prequel and go all insane with it.
They kept him Vader. They kept him classy.
Him Vader, but they still upped his intimidating, terrifying
I was actually,
stature.
while we were watching it, when we were seeing Vader for the first few times, I was going, he doesn't terrify me like he used to. When watching the originals, he doesn't scare me. And then we got to that point, and I was like,
when
God.
the lightsaber switched on.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay.
I want that as a screensaver.
Okay, this is Vader. And I was just like,
okay, and that was like watching him just play with these guys before he murders them by slamming them into ceilings with lifting his fingers. And I think one of the reasons that was a good scene for Star Wars as a whole is that every time we saw Vader going murder mode on someone before, it was against a Jedi, someone who could actually deal with it.
Yeah.
From this, we see it from the perspective of a bunch of guys who are completely and absolutely powerless against him.
Mm-hmm. The amount of absolute fear from the rebels.
Right.
That was, I feel, excellently
at the realization
portrayed.
that they are going to die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which,
now, I gotta say, in that specific scene, that guy should have just handed him the frickin' data card.
To start with?
Begin with.
But we're not gonna talk about that. Darth Vader was freaking amazing.
It was just glorious.
It felt like when you were playing the games and you finally got to be Darth Vader and you just went on a murdering rampage.
Seriously. it reminded me, one of the reasons I always adored the extended universe so much is because it always got into so much more depth than the original trilogy did on how terrifying this bad guy can be, how amazing a villain he can be. While acknowledging that the original trio did that fantastically, the extended universe went so much more in depth with it. Showing how powerful he was.
Yeah, the way he barely even acknowledges that these people are trying to murder him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the Marvel comic series that they've been putting out.
Right.
There's one scene where there's just a whole slew of freaking rebels just firing at him. They've commandeered some Empire walkers and ATSTs and shit like that. And they're just firing on him, and he's just taking it in stride, not even caring, dealing with it and slashing back at the shots like it's nothing.
James Earl Jones as Darth Vader. Now that's a man.
Yes, that is a voice that just
also it. Okay, also it also kind of shows off how intense he is with the fact that the planet we see him on. This is a planet, Mustafar. My wife died here. My best friend tried to kill me here. He left me burning in a pool of lava, and I became this machine monster, and this is my new home.
Mm-hmm.
badass.
Well, the better to keep the anger going, to keep the strength of the dark side.
Yeah.
What do you think, Miss? I'm gonna be silent for this whole thing.
You guys are saying everything that I would say.
Well, you say it.
Rant with me about how amazing Darth Vader.
It kind of reminded me of
I would actually like to talk about the other Jedi dude, not Jedi dude.
Oh, the blind guy?
The blind guy.
He was cool.
The monk was awesome.
The first time I saw him, I was like, that is Yoda in human form.
Yeah, I could definitely agree.
If he was green and short.
And had a shorter staff.
I really liked him.
He was really cool.
He was my favorite.
I really enjoyed the part where they put a bag over his head and he's like, "Hello, I'm blind."
It reminded me of Toph.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I agree.
Absolutely. So Toph is a character from a show that we've all shared and enjoyed.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
And she is blind.
And she is blind, and she's constantly making jokes like that. He's like one character will be like, "Hey, can you check this out for me?" And she'll be like, "Yeah, sure."
It looks fantastic. Hey, thanks. Hey. Why do you have to be so mean?
No, he was my favorite character.
No,
I really liked how he just seemed... what was it? I am one with the Force is one with me, or something, whatever that was.
I am one with the Force is with me. I am one with
Something
the Force,
along
the
like
Force
that,
is
yeah.
with me. I am one with the Force, the Force is with
I
me.
just... It
fit.
Yeah.
It's weird, like, the whole movie overall, I was worried because I saw a while ago that they decided to do an edit of it after a test audience thought it felt too much like a war film.
Oh, really?
This was months ago. The whole reason I was excited for this movie was that I wanted to see a Star Wars war movie. Yeah. And I still feel like I got that.
Without getting too much of it?
No,
I
agree.
actually feel like I could have
got
gone a little
that
more,
feel, too.
but it reminded me of a lot of war films that are set in World War II.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot, especially during...
Remember
that beach stuff.
Yeah, during the beach stuff, I got a lot of Saving Private Ryan type thing.
If you like history stuff, and particularly that era, it's like, I like how much the rebels, especially the ones that went on the attack,
make 10 people feel like 100.
Remind me of the British Commandos.
Yeah. No, I can agree. I was actually really happy about that.
It did feel good. I personally liked the balance of war film and not war film.
Yeah.
Because this is a story that's obviously taking place during war. We need to have some of that, but at the same time we got enough of a break from it that it wasn't overwhelming if you didn't like war films, which I don't.
Right.
So I thought it was good.
It was good.
I thought it was really good.
Agreed. I can't really think of on top of that, regardless of how slow the beginning was and how whether it was confusing or not or annoying or not with all the cutaways and all that stuff, I can't personally think of a single character I didn't like, that I didn't think was well made, well put together.
Honestly, I think I can agree with that. I cannot think of a character. Well, actually, there was one character.
To me, the close...
And I know we're going back to bad at the second, but the not Lando Calrissian, that was weird.
Who?
There was a character in there, and I don't know if he was supposed to be Lando. I don't think he was, but he seemed a lot like Lando, and it was just odd. That character was not named a single time in the film, but he had a few speaking lines with the... I think she was a senator, one of the people who were commanding the rebel base on Yavin. Huh. He was just a weird, nameless character who was there, and he didn't seem to have much purpose except to just tell this one plot point. And I did not like that.
Which plot point?
Which guy?
Exactly.
No, which guy?
I don't... He was nameless.
Can you describe him to me?
He was tall. He was of a colored ethnicity.
Obviously, the only... now we've seen one of...
I'm just going... Was he a token... was he a token minority character?
I don't think so. I actually didn't see a lot of problems with that in this film.
But no, I mean...
No, not really.
So... Okay, because you're not making this any clear. Was he black?
I don't know, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
If he was black, he was like a light-skinned, like, black Mexican.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think of, like, I'm running through a list of people
He
in that movie.
reminded me of Lando.
Okay.
Huh.
But it was, like, not Lando.
Huh.
That is legitimately the only character I did not enjoy, and it was because I had no idea anything about him.
Ah, okay.
And he was there, and he had speaking lines, and it was like,
Trying to think,
what is the purpose of this character?
Some of these characters might have actually been important. That's why I'm trying to, like...
It very well could have been Lando, because... Got it. There was one scene where he was referencing Obi-Wan.
Like, he was not Lando.
He was referencing that he had an old friend named Obi-Wan.
That...
Well,
No,
not that, not
Oh,
named.
no.
Dude, that is the senator who adopted Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Are you
that's who
talking
you're
about
Okay.
Jimmy Smith?
That is Leia's dad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's supposed to be Senator...
Because when his line...
Senator
what his line
Organa,
wa-
right?
What his line was... The woman
He
who
was like, I had an old friend.
The
or I
woman
have an
who
old
is in
friend.
charge of the rebels is asking him telling him that the plans are going to need... Yes, going to need to go with someone who can keep them safe, who he trusts. And he says, I can trust her. Because he's talking about Leia,
his daughter.
the girl he raised as his daughter.
Yeah, that was Senator
Yeah.
Organa.
That was
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I had in my memory, no basis for that character.
Huh.
I did not make the connection.
Yes, he's extremely important.
Oh, I figured he was, otherwise he wouldn't be there.
Right.
But I still was not able to make the connection.
Odd. It's even the same actor, too.
Yep.
Was it really?
Yes, it was.
I had
Same exact
no
At the
clue.
end of 3,
Yeah.
he is the one who took twins.
I know who he is. I know who Senator Organa is. I did not make the connection between this person in the movie to that character because they never gave him a name. And I did not make the dialogue connection.
Did they not? Did they not say his name?
They
in the
never
movie?
said his name. I was looking for it because I was really confused.
I could have sworn they did, but I guess it's just I didn't have that issue. Immediately, I saw him and recognized him.
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
recognized
He
it.
came up out of the shadows, and I was like, "Who's this guy?"
I recognize him off the bat.
Huh?
I did not make the connection. That legitimately the only character I didn't enjoy because of that reason. Now I'm sure if I go back and watch it now, knowing who he is, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, okay, okay."
I'm not sure how I felt about the droid.
I liked him.
Oh yeah,
I-
he reminded me. I don't know if you ever played.
Look, dude, I'm glad to represent droids in our films, but I don't feel like we need a token droid character.
It's Star Wars. Yes, we do.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even
Plain
in
and
the
simple.
games.
I kind of felt like the only reason for him to be there as a character was for him to be a droid.
Yeah.
And
Only C-3PO and R2 get away with that, and they're
And
useful.
BB-8.
What do you
and
call BB-8?
HK-47,
And yeah.
And the one
I call
from
him an
Force
annoying
Unleashed,
R2
and-
R4D4,
Yeah.
who is the actual R2 ripoff.
Well, no.
or that
R4D4
one-
was the predecessor to him, but no, I'm not going
Or
to get
that
into
one
that.
bounty hunter robot.
Or
I
the
can-
mouse thing.
I can get into
Mouse
my
droids.
extensive knowledge of things that aren't real, but
Don't be making up names like Puma. No, I personally, he reminded me a lot, like I just said, of HK-47 from the Knights of the Old Republic game series.
Nice.
Not quite as
but you know,
homicidal,
like-
but still.
also my point is like he kind of felt like a useless character to me until the end when he held off like 80 stormtroopers with a cheap blaster pistol.
So
I think
badass.
that was kind of the point, considering the fact that they verbally mentioned, "Oh, they never gave me a blaster.
Yeah.
All my job is to sit here and stay with
Right,
the
'cause
ship."
the-
I
the
think
deal
that
is
was
they tried to keep him from being a murder bot for the entire movie, and then
Well,
he just-
to be fair, he was a reprogrammed Imperial droid.
which if you're a rebel, you kind of want your reprogrammed Imperial droid to not go murder bot mode.
yeah. You
Like,
want them to
I'd
stay
probably-
docile.
I would probably trust, like, in reality, I would probably trust a reprogrammed assassin droid over a reprogrammed Empire droid.
What I am a little upset about, and it's not with this movie, it's the fact that none of those droids exist in any of the previous chronological films.
No, they don't.
And I think that would be cool to see those, to be honest. But
My other issue
maybe
is
he'll
you don't see those
re-release
droids in the movies that follow chronologically.
Well, what I liked specifically about that droid was that if you look at the prequels, the ones that are silver, got the arm thing, the reprogrammed Imperial droid kind of looks like a later version of that, like a newer version of that droid.
Wait, you mean the separatist attack droids in the prequels?
I think so. The ones who are all like,
yeah, I can kind of see that.
It kind of looks it looks like it would be an evolution of that droid.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
However, my issue with them is that you kind of would expect to have seen them in the following movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, not necessarily. If the Empire falls, they take out everything that was involved with the Empire. I can kind of.
My
see
issue
that
is like this was the beginning of this movie. Literally, is the beginning of A New Hope.
Took them.
Okay, the Jawas took them all.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes,
okay, because the closest
sense.
we see to a droid that resembles the droids the Empire is using in this movie are the medical droids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You are correct.
Which they don't necessarily specifically say in the movie that these droids are not like a multi-utility type droids.
They don't.
They don't say specifically that they're war droids or anything like that. They could be utility. They could be used for things like nurses and repair and all that shit.
I think we did see
saw a little mouse.
A very similar looking droid.
At least I heard one.
No, you see it. It goes along the floor
you see him
inside the Death Star.
I think we actually do see a similar looking droid in Return of the Jedi. In Jabba's
Possibly.
palace.
Another one that's coming to my mind is one of the droids in A New Hope in the Jawa junk trucks.
Yeah, I think so. My issue with like trying to remember stuff like that is
I told you the Jawas took them.
My VHS tape of the original trilogy, my tapes, were thrown out by my dad, who thought, "Don't worry, son, they'll be on DVD soon." And then the only ones that came out on DVD were remastered, so I'm not sure what's real anymore.
I can get you an original theatrical release of all of them.
I will need that.
I'm going to be taking them and digitizing them so that we can have them for forever.
Thank you, because we need those. Because last time I got to see the original trilogy was like a year ago, and it was the remastered versions. And
No. These are the originals.
I know. But no, I had to watch remastered versions. I was trying to show them to someone who hadn't seen Star Wars yet so that we could go watch The Force Awakens. And I had to keep pointing out, no, those things those don't belong in here. Please ignore the crap CG. That wasn't in the movie.
It was the 70s. Believe me, that didn't exist.
And Han shot first.
Well, no. Fortunately, this was the remastered version where they corrected that mistake. And Han did shoot. Well, no, my issue is Han didn't shoot first. Han is the only one who fucking shot.
Yeah, because Greedo didn't actually. Greedo.
Greedo.
And you know what? It was important. I know Roger's going to have to censor that. It was important for that one. Because that pisses me off.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't really care. He, as long as you're not. It's not like 48 times like Manny. It's fine.
So I can't just go.
No.
Well.
So, anything else very specific that we enjoyed about the movie?
I really enjoyed just seeing a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
That was original.
That felt original and felt
fresh.
Clean.
Fresh and clean, yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically, if I can point out anything, the all-out space battle.
That was cool.
Fantastic to
Get
watch.
a hammerhead. I have an idea.
I really liked
amazing.
that. That was really good. That was
clever.
Honestly, I feel like I should have been expecting that, and I wasn't, and that was awesome.
Right?
That was great.
And then, when it smashed down into the other destroyer, that was cool.
How it just kind of pizza cut the top of it off.
And you like see the Imperial troops inside going, "Oh God, oh God, oh God."
It was beautiful. Ah. Oh, that was amazing. It was like it was like playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the first time.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
that was in experiencing the all-out space battle.
Actually, that was something I enjoyed as a whole, is getting to see the Star Wars universe through the eyes of someone who is not an extraordinary, being in this universe, just a regular Joe.
Yeah.
Yes,
Being
I
able
have
to
to
see
say.
it from that perspective, I agree.
And the last good thing I will say before we move on to the next section, because we are running a little behind, is it was really, really great to see a lot of the original trilogy items. You know, a lot of the ships, a lot of the AT-ATs and AT-STs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of those in full budget CG and
the walkers look fantastic.
Everything like that.
I really
for the
enjoyed
first
the
time in such extraordinary detail. I felt like it was very well captured.
Yeah.
And a few new things mixed in there.
Yeah, and a few new things. And honestly, when we saw the Death Star for the first time, I was a little terrified.
Yeah.
Well, no, the Death Star felt like, I got the same awe from the Death Star as I did the first time I saw it.
Yeah, and it was
you
amazing.
actually got to see it more or less firsthand. It showing devastation, not the perspective of on the installation destroying a planet, like good distance away.
Yeah, but
you were on the planet right
there,
next to it,
and you got to see the destruction.
Right.
So, moving on, because like I said,
I am gonna say there's one more minor gripe I have. Clearly, I know this was a prototype for them, and the Empire was new to building Death Stars, but they built theirs upside down on this first attempt.
The camera was upside down, Alex.
I know the camera was upside down, Aaron. It's called a joke.
The camera was upside down, Alex. It was upside down.
It's a sphere. Is there really an upside and a downside?
With the Death Star, there is.
Death Stars have a top.
Death Stars do have a top. Okay, so moving on.
I mean, it's only
We've talked about the bad. We have talked about the good.
Yes.
We've talked about the spoilers. How would we rate the film?
I'm gonna go see it again Monday.
God.
Yeah, I'd probably go see it again in the theater and buy the super big pack.
10 out of 10.
And buy it at Best Buy.
Yeah, no, if I can...
Or Fry's, where it's more expensive.
Yeah, if I can actually get this...
But they price match.
If I can get the double disc thing, like if I actually have money for it, I'm gonna buy it.
10 out of 10. Would watch again. IGN Game Review.
No. If it's IGN, it would have been a 1 out of 10.
No. He's saying that it's an IGN review that gave it 10 out of 10, so it's really damn good.
No. It's an IGN review that gave it a 1 out of 10 because the frame rate was only 24 and not 15, which is super cinematic.
I'm done with you.
Get out.
I have to agree. It was really, really good. I kind of want to go and see it again on Monday with you, but
if you want to, I am
I'm gonna go on Tuesday when it's $4.
We might be sold because we're going to, I think, Santa Fe, and we're going to go into the luxury section.
Oh, nice!
And our chairs there might not be any more seats left in there because my uncle
I'm
bought the
working
ticket.
anyway, so
He bought the tickets and he said, "Yeah, I wanted to go to an earlier showing, but the seats were already sold out."
Damn!
And he bought them on Wednesday.
Oh my gosh! All right, but yeah, no, I would absolutely go see it again. I'd probably see it a few more times in theaters, plus buy the big pack. Yeah. I will be buying the Ultimate Edition, with the 4 discs and the 4K and the 2. Yeah,
happy.
I'm gonna be happy when that comes out. And it actually, and I gotta say this before we wrap it up, it gave me hope for the next anthology films that we're gonna be seeing. As much as I don't want to see a Han Solo film, I actually...
Maybe they'll do a good job.
Yeah, maybe they're gonna do an alright job.
Yeah, I agree.
I still would much rather see an Obi-Wan film because Ewan McGregor is so down to do it.
And he's at the right age. He's at the perfect age to be doing it right now.
And he looks so much like Alec Guinness. So much like him. He looks so good.
Like, if anyone who could, make that a reality actually bothers to listen to our podcast,
hey,
good idea.
They were also talking in the talks about doing a Boba Fett movie too.
That is happening.
I do not want a Boba Fett.
I would love to see that.
That is happening. I don't. It's supposed to be what happens after he escapes the Sarlacc pit.
I'm okay with that then.
Yeah. It's a little better than anything else because we already know where Boba Fett came from.
Well, my other deal is, if you guys watch the holiday special, you know all about Boba Fett.
Yeah. But we don't talk about that.
No, if you listen to the expanded universe where they half-assed agree as canon, the Mandalorians we already know about, so it's fine.
Yeah, we know where Boba Fett came from. We don't need that. But this film is supposed to take place when he escapes the Sarlacc pit.
So it's giving you hope.
Yes.
Would you say it's giving you a new hope?
Yes. Wait, can we just mention really quick?
If you guys can't hear me, Aaron's like cut me out completely because he's tired of me.
We've basically kind of just watched A New Hope twice, though. Force Awakens was A New Hope redone,
Yeah, it was.
and this one literally just gave us A New Hope. So,
well, yeah,
I'm not saying this is a bad thing by any means. Okay, I think that wraps this up for today's Good, the Bad, and the Spoilers, where we reviewed Rogue One, released to December 16th, 2016. I don't know why I'm putting the release date.
You want to make sure and date the video.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
This video was recorded in front of a live audience of 2 cats.
This podcast brought to you by Blast Tech Industries.
You got to say something now.
Tell us what you want us to review next. Like us, subscribe.
But we have our schedule for 2017.
Okay, though we actually do need an answer. So if you guys could actually give us like, one thing I think we got caught up on is, if you guys would like who actually listen to us would rather see us review Lego Batman or John Wick 2 and could like give us some input on that, because there was some arguing over that.
There was the argument of the other one coming out about the same time.
The other one was Beauty and the Beast or...
Well, no, that was just date issues.
Oh yeah, you're right. But the one was a big argument between Double Take as a whole. So yeah, let us know, John Wick 2 or Lego Batman.
And if you'd like us to see both, say so.
And we can try and do both. One might come out later than the other, but we'll do our best to get it done. So yeah, take it away, Blaid, because you're better at that than I am.
If you like this video, please go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment saying what you liked or disliked about the movie, your thoughts, if you've seen it already. I hope you have, because we kind of talked a whole lot about it and just ruined everything. Spoiler, Darth Vader is Anakin's father.
Really?
Uh-huh. No, yeah.
He is Anakin Skywalker's father.
Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely.
Would you like to explain who Anakin Skywalker is?
Oh my God, hold on. I just realized something.
Uh-huh.
The guy Mick from T-Mobile today, I didn't tell him that we do spoilers. I really hope... Oh, I'm so sorry, Mick. You were awesome at T-Mobile.
Aaron.
I'm so sorry.
Aaron, what is the title of our podcast?
It's Good, Bad, and Spoilers, but that's not the point. I didn't tell him, and now I feel bad.
You're still with us, Mick from T-Mobile. Thanks for joining us.
I'm so sorry, man.
By the
Thanks
way,
for joining us.
We'd love to be sponsored by you.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag could be sponsored. Hashtag
I'm so sorry, Mick. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like and subscribe and follow and share and all
and
that
do all the
stuff.
things. You know the drill.
We've got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
Snapchat.
We're on Snapchat.
Tumblr.
Now. Yeah, but we don't use our Tumblr.
We have a Tumblr?
We have a Tumblr.
Oh,
yes.
I was just saying that to confuse anyone like who actually bothers listening to us to go look for our Tumblr.
No, we actually do have a Tumblr. Double Take LV. It's Double Take LV for most of the hashtags.
Make sure you guys check out our MySpace page.
I have to go build a MySpace page now.
Cool, I just forced Aaron to do more work.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Through careful focus and training, and carrying a midget around on his back through a swamp, Aaron has learned to tap into the Force.
This is all great filler for where we put our little post-video bumper card. We should just keep all this here. All right, bye, guys.
Keep nothing.